And we are live.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. And then today we are going to talk about diverse culture in the workplace, especially in LGBT employees. So my name is Tao, and then I'm just going to start go over the LGBT employee in the workplace issues. So before we started this topic, and there's a trend about many companies nowadays are more focused on to build a diverse culture in their workplace. And then sometimes when we talk about diversity, and then we have to relate it to LGBT group. So the LGBT group is basically a minor demographic group in our society. And then the LGBT basically stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender. So sometimes the people may think we are not really familiar with the people from that group, but actually during the business world, sometimes we will have to deal with like an employee who belongs to those groups. And then, but we have a long history about the LGBT community, and then sometimes the people from the LGBT community may start having issues, especially in their workplace. So we got some data from the Center of American Progress. They actually released the data as like there are huge discrimination and harassment history in the United States. Some LGBT employee may have to face for a long time. Those issues are related to sometimes they will be having the termination once the employee revealed their sexual orientation to their employer, and then verbally, physically abused by other coworkers, and also when the promotions came up, and then the LGBT employee has less opportunity than those like straight coworkers. So but the good thing about the LGBT community in the nowadays is we see there are many changes in the United States, especially since like 2013. So actually, another pioneer of the LGBT community human resource campaign, they released the data is like nowadays any company has realized they want to build a diverse culture in the workplace because that's actually can attract more talented employer to work for them, and as well as build a competitive advantage for business world. So HRC give us some data. Like right now, 52% of Fortune 500 companies actually provide sexual orientation training in their HR department, and another 42% company from Fortune 500 actually provide gender identity expression training at the workplace as well. So next, Cara is going to go a little bit deeper about topic. So Cara, it's your turn.
Thank you, Tayo. My name is Carla, and I'm just going to discuss some challenges that companies face while promoting LGBT in the workplace. Companies like Google, Microsoft, and Coca-Cola have come together and joined a new coalition to support LGBT rights. There are only 18 states that have statewide laws prohibiting discrimination, according to an article written by Zellers and Bowers. It becomes difficult for companies to implement protections for their employees and families due to the fact that there are no laws that exist or it's a hostile environment. According to Mary Snap, she's a corporate vice president and deputy general counsel at Microsoft. With this coalition, they offer advice to companies on how to promote LGBT friendly policies in the workplace. And they also provide the necessary information to those companies who work outside of the United States. Some efforts have been made. The Obama administration, they have taken the steps to extend anti-discrimination and employment protections for homosexuals and transgender members in the military as well as federal employees and companies. This only applies to companies that are working with the government. So there's still that more that needs to be done to protect the LGBT community so they won't face discrimination and they won't, lose their jobs or they'll be in a hostile environment. Just I have experience working with the LBTG in my place of employment. Although we didn't face too many negative situations, we did, and in those cases, we had co-workers talking about each other and just creating that hostile environment. So that it was my job, working in human resources, to approach those employees and remind them that we will not tolerate that type of behavior in this company. So, as time went on, things went pretty well. And even though that person no longer works with our company, hopefully in the future, I hope to implement some policies and procedures to protect the LGBT in our company. Next, I'll pass it along to Nicole.
Okay, thank you, Carla. So to further touch on our subject today, I'll be discussing if promoting any LGBT policies in the workplace could cause potential issues for the workplace. Now, I'd like to start off by answering that with a yes and also a no. So the reason I say this is usually people of that orientation tend to keep their personal lives very discreet to avoid any potential consequences. They don't want their employees or employers looking at them differently or treating them differently. And I can't say I blame them, since considering to the catalyst of 2015, there's actually no current laws in the U.S. protecting LGBT employees at work as of now. So, due to the fear of, unknown reactions of how everyone at work will respond, they tend to keep that to themselves. And also, surveys given by Burns and Crowley in 2011 indicated that 7 to 41% of LGBT employees have all reported either being physically abused at work, verbally abused at work, and also even in some cases they reported having their workplace vandalized. So they definitely try to keep that discreet to avoid any, potential backfiring at work or being treated or, differently or mistreated at work. I would like to also bring up the fact that those supporting LGBT policies at work could definitely cause potential issues with, employees, employers, and even customers in some cases that do not share the same beliefs, and you don't know if you promoting these like things will have them looking at the business differently, or if they would still like to do business with you if they don't accept that. So employers also like to, they have to be aware of that also. But studies have actually also shown that accepting and promoting these policies in the workplace can actually be a great attribute to success. And according to Kova 2015, there's actually a larger market share that is increasing with the LGBT households and the consumers, and as it comes to change the household of LGBTs is actually have been increasing. And also promoting these issues, they definitely do cause a little bit of issues between, like at work, they don't really know how people are going to respond to them. But in the long run, it has been proven that accepting everyone and being able to work together and really just unite as a workplace can definitely cause better, like, can definitely lead to more of a success at work if the workplace can definitely work together. And also, according to an article by the Williams Institute of 2016, it can reduce costs and even promote like higher productivity in the workplace if policies are promoted and accepted. So, saying that, I would like to introduce Ajane next.
Thanks, Nicole. Okay, so although many companies see the benefits of having an equally diverse culture with lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender employees, there are still many challenges that remain in the workplace once LGBT employees enter. So, scholar Richard Lum, he made a strong statement saying that most LGBT employees do not have that degree of economic security and anti-discrimination laws that, and they won't be enough to protect them. So basically, LGBT individuals lack protection from toxic work cultures, and they also lack legal protection. According to the Human Rights Campaign, over 53% of LGBT workers hide who they are at work because they're afraid of not fitting in or being rejected or not getting along in cultural meetings. 10% leave their job because they feel uncomfortable. Now, this is not effective in the workplace because it declines productivity for employees in the company, and it also um, it increases the employee forfeiture rate. Employees are stressed, they are more likely to quit at LGBT if LGBT employees are not welcome in that culture. And also, oppressing an employee is in direct violation of the Employment Non-Discrimination Act, but it is often overlooked just because they're discriminating these employees because of their sexual identity. Um, Many companies express that they lack power to protect their LGBT workers. The Marriage Equality Act created a way for same-sex marriages to be able to start their families and be recognized as a married couple. Well, some limitations are at work. The the Defense of Marriage Act prevents them from being able to have benefits like health insurance and pension plans for their families. And that's creating a problem. Even if a company is pro-LGBT employees and trying to enforce an LGBT culture and have everybody get along, they will still leave if they can't have the benefits or the future benefits needed to protect their families and provide for their families, as that's why most of the employees want to work in the first place. Um, Robinson also mentioned that he made a mention that a lot of the LGBT employees are not protected if they go overseas. So a lot of these jobs, due to globalization, will require you to have to do some sort of overseas travel. Now, when these LGBT employees are exposed to other cultures or other countries, they face challenges like financial penalties, imprisonment, and even beatings for people who don't accept lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender employees. And that basically leaves LGBT employees not safe to travel and do their job just because of their sexual identity, whereas heterosexual families do not face these same challenges because they get their pension benefits, they have health plans, they have everything, and they don't have to worry about just because of who I identify with sexually, I don't have to get ridiculed when I go to another country. So those are still a few challenges that a lot of employees face while trying to shift over to a more diversely accepting and equal um, culture. So I'll bring it over to Ross, and he'll do the
Well, my name is Ross,
conclusion.
and I will be discussing the integration and the programs and groups that benefit LGBT employees. With so many companies these days experiencing an ever-growing presence of LGBT employees, it's quickly becoming the company's responsibility to provide a safe and tolerant workplace for them. The same expected by all other employees. Safe and tolerant workplaces not only benefit the employees, they also increase productivity, improve communication, and generate new ideas. The Williams Institute had released some research that showed that LGBT employees who fear discrimination at work have higher levels of psychological stress, health problems, job dissatisfaction, absenteeism, and quitting. Today, a lot of companies offer programs and groups to support their LGBT employees and to teach others within the company about sensitivity and tolerance. One program is the Straight Ally program, in which straight employees openly support the rights of LGBT employees, as well as actively discourage any and all discrimination or abuse against them. Goldman Sachs was one of the first companies in the financial sector to actually use this program, and they also kind of changed it in their own way, in which they established 20 senior executives as allies to show the support from management. Sachs also developed a course called Out in the Open, which educates all employees in the company about LGBT people, or LGBT, their struggles, and what's not appropriate behavior. 20 years ago, employees of AT&T started a group called LEAD, which promotes LGBT growth in the community. And it also provides opportunities such as scholarships and mentoring, as well as they're also working to make the workplace a safe space for employees where discrimination is not tolerated. Groups and programs such as these have proven to be effective, and for 11 years, AT&T has actually received a 100% score on the HRC Human Rights Campaign's Corporate Equality Index. And they also operate in countries such as Russia, which have very harsh anti-gay laws. And even in those countries, they still manage to receive a 100% score. Clearly, there are many benefits and advantages for both the company and the LGBT community from these programs and initiatives. Most importantly, they recognize the fundamental human rights of LGBT people. Unfortunately, discrimination is still a very real thing in our society, but so is the campaigns that are aimed at ending it. LGBT employees have the right to feel as safe as anyone else and everyone else in the workplace. And as said by one of the first openly gay politicians before he was assassinated, it takes no compromise to give people their rights. It takes no money to respect the individual. It takes no political deal to give freedom. And it takes no surgery to remove repression. Integrating LGBT employees is not only the right thing to do, it is a must in today's modern business world. Thank you for your time, and that is the conclusion of our presentation.